So I just wanted to hop on and talk about this because I got a buddy who I got into Elden Ring, and he started playing the game 3 to 4 months ago, and the farthest he's gotten is killing Renala. And it's more so because of the way that other games have programmed him to think about playing Elden Ring, and it made me realize that like I could almost make a video just talking about this because I went through the same thing. Like it took me way longer than it should have to progress through Elden Ring, especially with how much I've played games. And that right there is a problem. Now that there are so many versatile games and there are so many accessible games, especially through like Game Passes, Steam sales, shit like that, you get to a point where you feel like you got it. Like you feel like you understand the gaming universe to the point where you see something in a game that kind of replicates or is similar to something in another game, and you start making connections and comparisons. And ultimately that becomes the downfall and a lot of experiences for a lot of people. I can name multiple examples, but I want to focus on the newcomers and the people who have quit these types of games. I'm talking Elden Ring, I'm talking Sekiro, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1 through 3. If you have played these games and rage quit or got frustrated and quit or felt like you weren't good enough, I have a direct message for you. It's not that you're not good enough. It's not that you're overly frustrated. It's that you aren't understanding a core mechanic of the game, which is dying and failure. This game, and along with all of their other games, have almost like a moral compass on them. You know, like you can go south and you could die and you could rage quit and you can never proceed north to the objective, or you could keep throwing yourself back north until you climb over that wall. And when you finally do and let yourself off from the top of it, that shit feels amazing. It feels amazing. It's a entire build-up of character, whether it's discipline, dedication. You know, you're constantly throwing yourself at something. And Elden Ring is a tiny bit different of a situation, although at first it doesn't feel like it because of how many options there are to overcome the current wall that you're faced with. But in other games, you have to tooth and nail it. Like, there are times when I was playing Dark Souls 1, because there isn't fast travel until later throughout the game, that I had to throw myself at a wall because going and do something about it would arguably take more time. So there's this thing where you gotta die. Like dying is more of a part of the game than succeeding, because every time you die, if you took a note, it decreases the amount of times that you die before you get the kill. And you really lock it in, like, okay, this is why I'm dying. This is how I could change it. Then you go back and you try it. If it doesn't work, try something else. Eventually you'll figure out a way to maneuver yourself through the fight and become successful. And that's the beauty of this game. That's the beauty of these games, is it's a great test to patience, it's a great test to dedication, and it's a great test to discipline. It makes you get in there, it makes you learn, it makes you observe, you know, it makes you get intuition for just how the combat and the physics work in the game. And I think a lot of people miss that mark. You know, I think a lot of people who jump into the games and they aren't guided directly by the game's dialogue or, subtitles at the bottom telling you what to do, or a little mini objective on the side of your screen. That throws a lot of people off because games have dumbed down things to the point where any single human could pick it up and would want to for the sake of money. It's a business strategy to dumb down games so it gets a bigger populace of players. And that is why I think a lot of the FromSoft community doesn't take shit talk lightly, because they understand the magnification of a game this good existing in this day and age. It could revert all of the bullshit that we see with stupid business strategies and cutting corners and releasing unfinished games. Okay, these games got it. And I tell everyone all the time. Like, if you've never played any of their games and you play Elden Ring for the first time, playing Elden Ring for the first time after not playing any games that are like that is the equivalent of, like, what it would be like if you woke up in a simulation. Like, you have no idea who you are, where you are. You have to, like, talk to people, look around, and read items and shit that you get, and, like, text that you get to even understand what the hell is even going on, right? You have to, like, directly interact with the world. And you don't get that experience hardly at all. Like, at all. Every single time you play a game nowadays, it's straight up story forward. It babies you. It proceeds with caution when it comes to some of the difficulty because they want people to stick around. That's why now that almost every game you see comes out with DLCs and expansions and season passes and this and that. It's because they want you to stick around. And that's the thing is, you know, there's a lot of games that are made strictly for their difficulty and advertised for their difficulty. But in this case, it's not really the community is what pushes the difficulty onto the title in these games. You know, they indirectly talk about the difficulty because it's a thing now, but I don't think they directly intended it to be like a main seller for the game. I think they just wanted to make a beautiful open world fantasy game with all this rich ass lore and all these cool bosses and these cool ass submersive areas, and they knocked it out the park. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because anybody who quit, anybody who felt discouraged, anybody who felt overwhelmed, irritated, you gotta get back in there. You gotta keep fighting. You gotta keep pushing through. You gotta keep your mind open. You got to watch the sword and not yourself. You got to watch your enemy more than you watch yourself. You learn a lot more. You discipline yourself to finally kill the boss, and you get the biggest, like, ego rush, and you just want to keep going, and you want to keep learning, and you want to become the best. You want to just walk in and make a boss fight feel like a cinematic, like a straight-up fight out of a movie. We're hitting these perfect dodges and then using a cool weapon art at a perfect time and getting a stagger. And then you go up and you do this cool, like, fatal blow. Like, this is what the fuck we signed up for, if I got to be real. And I know a lot of people don't even get the chance to miss that or to hit that mark because the game is so distinctly different when it comes to like exploration and straightforwardness with the story. So for anybody out there who has quit before, I hope this helps, and I hope this encourages you to get back into the games, because I have played at this point thousands of games. Like on Steam I have 200 games. I have Epic Games that has, like, I think 30 or 40. Like, I have all the Blizzard games on the Blizzard launcher. I've had the Xbox Game Pass multiple times. This is hands down the best game that I've ever played, Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3. And the rest of the series are just as much masterpieces, but those are my personal favorites. I think they, like, FromSoft is the best gaming company of all time. It's going to be hard to top them. So that's all I got for today. It's your boy Crusading, a.k.a. Famous James, a.k.a. James. Really do it. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell. We are going to be doing a 24-hour stream as soon as that Elden Ring DLC hits. 12 a.m. I'm fucking on live. Check it, dude. So I'll catch you guys later. I hope you have a good one. Peace.